All right, you guys, good afternoon. It is 12:04 and we're super cold once again. I just want to give you a brief update on what models are showing me in terms of when precipitation moves in, because we're now less than 24 hours out from that. So starting to get more clarity. Models are now in agreement with one another. So I'll break this whole thing down. Let's talk first about today. Right now, it is just overcast skies for pretty much our whole viewing area, unless you're in our far northern counties. They're having some more breaks in the clouds. I'll get to radar here in a second, but currently winds sustained at 10, still gusty at times, still a little bit of a difference, 7-degree difference between our feels like temperature factoring in the wind chill and our actual temperature, which is right at the frost point, 35 degrees overcast here in Temple. Just cold, no precipitation quite yet, just showing you what Killeen looks like as well currently. As you can tell, no precipitation on the ground, but those flags are still moving. With that northerly flow in place, all of us still sitting in the 30s. Feeling like 20s for some of us, though. 28 Temple, 27 Hamilton right now. Feeling like 29 degrees over in Hearn. So that's right now. Quickly touching on regional SATRAD, so radar across the region, showing that cloud shield, essentially overcast skies for basically the whole southern half of Texas right now. You can see there's a little bit of snow falling, maybe some flurries up by Dallas-Fort Worth in North Texas, as well as far west Texas. There's been snow all morning to the southwest of Midland. You can see this area here I'm circling off towards I-10. Yes, it does stretch all the way to El Paso. Other than that, looking like Lubbock getting some light snow as well, but nothing in our viewing area quite yet. I'm going to turn off a layer, the cloud layer here. So this gives you a better idea of precipitation potentially hitting the ground, just easier to see. You can see, I mentioned maybe some flurries up by Dallas-Fort Worth moving in from the west, looking like up towards Lubbock, and then moving into Midland, Odessa is some pockets of snow. They are a little bit below the freezing point. We're rising up into the lower 40s across central Texas this afternoon, so we're obviously going to be above the freezing point, but they typically are a little bit colder out in West Texas. It's a trend, though, that you're going to notice. You can see that they are getting their precipitation today. Ours is primarily going to be an event for tomorrow because the system is slowly going to pick up and move from west to east here over the next 36 hours or so. As you can tell, zooming into our viewing area, again, I turned clouds off. It is mostly cloudy skies, kind of overcast right now. Earlier, it looked like potentially there were some flurries over by Centerville. I don't know if that was anything that was actually hitting the ground or if radar was picking up something that was sort of dissipating, going away before it hit the ground earlier. Overnight lows tonight, it is going to be mostly cloudy skies. Yes, precipitation chances do begin. Now, a lot of us stay dry until tomorrow morning early. But you can see we dip down below the freezing point area wide, except for the Brazos Valley. They may stay slightly above freezing, meaning the likelihood that they are seeing any wintry precipitation tomorrow morning, if they are actually end up being at 37, is very, very low versus, as you can see, below the freezing point area wide for our northwestern quadrant, and all of our northern counties look to hit freezing again for tonight. Okay. I'm going to slowly go through this part. Over the next couple of days, it's about 100% shot. I don't say that a lot. You will see some sort of precipitation at your house tomorrow on Thursday. Today, most of us staying clear. It is probable that there's isolated pockets when we're going to sleep tonight in our far western counties. That could be anything, but most of the precipitation holds off until Thursday, so tomorrow morning, very early though. So it could impact your morning commute. Just slick roadways are going to start to be the case. Not all of us are going to see any sort of wintry precipitation. Some of us miss out on that completely, and it's just a cold rain. But again, very high chance that you see rainfall at your house as we head on into tomorrow. So just notating that, of course, roads can be slick even when it's a cold rain. This area I'm circling here is the time. So as I go forward, just notate that as I stop several times in a row because that will help you plan your day accordingly. We are now looking at very short-term models. So this is the HRRR, the first portion of this, which takes us all the way through the main event. Once we get down to this close to it, this is going to give you a pretty good idea of what we can expect at this point. So that's the good news. These models are starting to be in agreement with one another. Now we have some of our shorter term models that only go a couple of days out, and they're typically much more accurate than the regional ones we've been looking at. So we roll into this afternoon. Like I said, we punch through 40 degrees, but just barely. We're still feeling like 30s even when we peak later this afternoon under overcast or mostly cloudy skies. Uptick in precipitation on radar by when we're waking up tomorrow morning. So in the overnight hours, isolated pop-up activity to the west of I-35 is going to be possible, but we wake up tomorrow morning on Thursday by 6 o'clock in the morning. You can see widespread precipitation. We're going to be so close to that freezing point that I do think it starts to try to transition over. The better chance for that happening Thursday morning, tomorrow morning, is going to be our far western counties, especially our far northwestern counties. You could see if they're sitting at 32, 33, yes, likely it is starting to transition over to this mess, honestly, of sleet, freezing rain, that type of thing. Wouldn't be surprised if some flurries are mixed in too. Now, if we end up dipping sub 32 is when obviously the chance for snow goes up versus seeing the rain, freezing rain in it or sleet. So we're just going to be extremely close to that 32-degree mark, especially the northern half of the viewing area. And depending on where we're situated temperature-wise, is going to be that big factor on if we are seeing a mix when we wake up Thursday morning or not. It is just simply going to be very close. Now, if you are in our southeastern counties towards the Brazos Valley, you can see they're going to be in the upper 30s tonight, like 37, 38. That is going to be too warm to see the wintry mix quite yet. So the best chance is we roll on into early Thursday morning, kids going to school, things like that. I don't think there's going to be a lot of delays quite yet. We go through mid-morning Thursday, pausing once again to show you this is going to be multiple rounds of just straight up rain. Very, very cold rain. Now, if we have some of our northwestern and northern counties sitting still at 32, 33, even 34 degrees is kind of after that we start to see that transition to rain for sure. But if this ends up verifying, yes, I do think even during the mid-morning to lunchtime type of hours and time frame, there could still be a mix and some of it heavy at times, you guys. This is when potentially we start to see some more slick roadways, starting to see more issues by Thursday at lunch in terms of the slick roadways, particularly, again, the northern half of our viewing area. We hop up into the upper 30s for high temperatures Thursday. What that means is that in the afternoon hours Thursday, a lot of this is going to be rain. Can even be heavy pockets, like drenching rain at times. We're going to be above the freezing point for high temperatures, but likely don't hit 40 degrees tomorrow on Thursday. Likely it is cloudy skies all day. We've got pockets of rain on and off all day. And once we're up out of the mid 30s, it will all be just rain. Now notating that Hill County up towards Meridian, Hamilton, Comanche, Corsicana, so our northern half, Waco pointing north, if they stay more like 33, 34, 35 for their highs tomorrow afternoon, that's when you could start to see accumulations of sleet, ice on the roadways. And yes, that is when likely we start to see it trying to transition to snow. Back half of Thursday, you could see potentially some heavy downpours are moving in, even into Thursday evening. That is when obviously the sun is going down. Again, notating this timestamp here, we're rolling into the dark hours Thursday night into Friday morning. We fall back barely below freezing area wide, and we start to see it want to transition from the heavy pockets of rain here and there to a mix and or snow. So I'm going to fast forward again when we are right at the freezing point in the overnight hours. This right here is the best chance at this point for you to see snow at your house. That's what everyone wants to know, right? Also, though, the highest likelihood we're seeing widespread travel issues would be Friday morning, because Thursday morning, brief little period that maybe there's isolated pockets where it's trying to transition over. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Then we go up above freezing during the day Thursday. It's primarily rain throughout the day, unless you're in our far northern counties where they could potentially stay down closer to that 32-degree mark. It's when the sun goes down Thursday night in the overnight hours. Friday, I'm talking like midnight to around 4 or 5 a.m. Yes, we could see that transition to snow when we're all asleep. So if you're a night owl, maybe stay up and wait on that. But you can see that potentially it's going as far south as some of our southern counties. So this is the best chance for you to see snow, is in the overnight hours, Thursday night into early Friday morning. That's when I start to think about, all right, so when administrators, school folks that makes those tough decisions are looking at Friday morning, unfortunately for them, this is a tough call because it is going to clear out early Friday morning. We're going to be done with this thing. However, we will have had multiple nights in a row well below freezing, wind chills in the teens. The roads aren't super warm like sometimes when we have a 60-degree day and then flip-flop and we're 30 and it's trying to sleet and freezing rain and all of that. We've had a lot of freezing weather this week, so notating that it may not take super long once that freezing precipitation starts falling for us to have roadway issues. So I do think there is likely to be some delays. Friday morning would be the time frame for that. And the reason I say delays and not a lot of cancellations is simply because we don't think there's going to be a lot of accumulations. Yes, there may be ice on the roadways. Friday morning, I think there's going to be slick roadways. Yes, you may see some full day cancellations here where I'm pointing in our northern counties where they could rack up a couple of inches of snow. But the rest of the viewing area, I think there's going to be a lot of 10 o'clock delays on Friday morning because to be safe, even if it looks like it's drivable, you guys, there could be black ice and things of that nature, and you just don't want to chance it. So yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some 10 o'clock delays, especially our southern counties. But then the further north that you go, potentially cancellations Friday as well. Thursday, it's going to be just barely starting, so I think kids will already be at school type of thing. But you can see Friday morning, and this is one other change that happened between yesterday and today, is that Friday morning, it shifted in time just a little bit. We had seen most models agreeing that it wasn't sneaking out of here until mid-morning lunch. It looks like we wake up Friday and radar is clear when we're all going to work and things like that. But again, in the overnight hours before that, while we're all asleep Thursday night, is when we have the highest chance that it is transitioning over to either a mix or snow across the viewing area. And when that happens, of course, that could issue some cancellations, cause slick roadways and things of that nature. So you're going to wake up Friday morning. This thing clears out. We're above freezing into the lower 40s Friday. Over the weekend, we're up into the 50s. So I'm going to show you one more thing, and then here it is 12:17 right now. Here in exactly 10 minutes, I'm going to be on Channel 6 doing a 5-minute update of all of this as well. So I will switch off of here to do that, but I want to show you a couple of more things first to get you ready. This is a second model. It's a more long-term one. We've been looking at these all week versus the one I just showed you. But this is in agreement with what I just showed you in general, only tiny little changes here and there. So rolling into late tonight, you can see Midland, Odessa to Abilene, the big country. All of this moisture is going to start to slowly lift towards us. A lot of us, again, do not see any precipitation until tomorrow morning when we start to see that uptick on radar. So let's fast forward. You can see Dallas-Fort Worth here. Yes, especially north of I-20, just north of DFW, they're going to have widespread 6+ inches, all sorts of issues up towards Texarkana and southern Oklahoma. They're going to catch the brunt of it. DFW is going to be very close to that transition line. But y'all, this is all day Thursday. So I do still think you got family and friends in Dallas-Fort Worth. You're a UT fan and wanting to know about traveling to Dallas-Fort Worth. Your best time to do that would either be tonight or hold off. Don't do it Thursday. The roads are going to be a mess. A lot of people out on them. It is just going to make things difficult, even if it's just heavy pockets of rain and then ice pellets hitting your windshield as you get close to Dallas, and then it's snowing right when you get into Dallas. Thursday's just going to be a mess. If you're wanting to know when the best time is to travel up there, I would say it's tonight, or hold off until like mid-morning or lunch on Friday. Of course, yes, that's when a lot of people are going to hold off until, so I do think at that point it's going to be traffic issues, but at least you'll be safe from the weather. So that would be my recommendation, is either go tonight. By tomorrow morning, it is going to be kind of a sloppy mess up in Dallas-Fort Worth. They're going to be dealing with a mix and then transition over to snow and likely rack up a few inches of snow between now and it moves out very early Friday morning for them too, similar to us. We roll into Thursday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon, and as you can see, a lot of this is rain on this Model 2 because we're above freezing. We're in the upper 30s for highs tomorrow. But that transition line is probably somewhere around Hill County. So Comanche, Meridian, Hill County, Hillsborough, they could be seeing that mix throughout the day tomorrow because they're simply going to be a couple of degrees cooler. This also agrees with the one I just showed you. Snow lovers, get excited. This is our best chance, and really our most notable, the only notable one I'm seeing for actual snow hitting the ground, and it being that fluffy stuff that we all want to see, not the sloppy freezing rain mess, would be overnight Thursday into Friday morning, and then it clears out very quickly. All models now agree it clears out early on Friday. Okay, so this thing's going to be out of here. Again, one last thing to show you. I'm 2 minutes out now from doing a 5-minute live update on Channel 6. But you can see that potentially I'm taking it all the way out from tomorrow morning till Friday morning when it clears out. Typically, this can move a little bit. Other than that, overnight Thursday into Friday morning time frame that I showed you, it could creep further south. This blue line, blue meaning snow, pink meaning a mix. If you're in the green area, I don't think you're going to have widespread impacts. You could have a little bit, but it's going to be nothing like what our northern counties are going to see. You can see the 7-day forecast shows. After this, we warm up into the 50s, so this thing will be over rather quickly. Okay, I'm going to mute my mic and get ready to do this 5-minute live update on Channel 6. Thank you, guys. And by the way, if you're on Facebook, feel free to leave a comment, and I will check it here shortly. An actual TV update, and it lasts for 5 minutes. I do have someone in my ear, by the way. I almost said good morning, Central Texas, because that's what I'm used to. Good afternoon, you guys. It is 12:22. I am here live in Temple at the station. Just did an update on our app 6 Plus on our website too, so you guys can tune in there, and the KCEN Facebook page. We'll be doing those probably several times a day over the next 36 hours or so, get you through the system. At this point, no precipitation to show you quite yet. We're still cold. No surprise there, you guys. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this. Obviously, it feels like it's below freezing, sitting just above freezing here across the viewing area in the middle 30s temperature-wise right now. You can see winds still brisk at times. That's looking out over Killeen. You can see the roadways are good for now. That precipitation chance does not begin until tonight. Feeling like widespread upper 20s near 30 Waco right now. 28 and overcast in Temple, 31 over in College Station. SatRad showing snow moving into West Texas and Panhandle, including Lubbock, Midland, Odessa as well. All of that moisture is going to pick up and move east here over the next 12 to 18 hours or so. So late tonight, it starts to creep into the big country, Abilene, San Angelo, and we wake up tomorrow morning and we likely see widespread precipitation on radar. I turned off the cloud layer here purposely to show you flurries are already flying here and there, but no accumulations quite yet up in Dallas-Fort Worth. You've probably heard at this point that they are anticipating for several inches of snow. Here at home, nothing to show you quite yet. It looked like maybe there was a couple of flurries where I'm pointing over towards Centerville and our far eastern counties earlier today. I don't know if that was actually hitting the ground or not. So there is a thick cloud shield across the viewing area right now. We dip down just below freezing or just above it. This is important to notate as we head on into the overnight hours tonight into very early tomorrow morning. So I'm going to fast forward to then because that's when our precipitation chances begin. Tomorrow morning you wake up, it's 6:30. Widespread rain on radar. A lot of this is going to be light, very cold rainfall. We're going to be right around that freezing point. This is important because once we get closer to that 32-degree mark, I'm talking especially west of I-35 in our northwestern counties, it's going to start to want to transition over to a mix, which is this pink color here versus the green. That's just rain and or snow. Now, I think Thursday morning, it's primarily going to be just rain. But even as we head on into mid-morning tomorrow, you can see Hamilton-Gatesville Highway 36, up towards I-35 if you're going up towards Hillsborough, trying to travel, for example, to Dallas for the Cotton Bowl game. You guys may start to see that transition early afternoon as well. So throughout the day, Thursday, the further north that you go, the more likelihood that you are running into it trying to transition over to sleet, freezing rain. Yes, the slick roadways are probably going to start to be the case by lunchtime on Thursday for our northern areas. But also drenching pockets of rain here and there, and notating we stay in the 30s tomorrow. Don't hit 40, but a lot of us do go above freezing. So I think we're going to have a good old rain event for a lot of the viewing area tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. It's when the sun goes down Thursday night into early Friday morning. So I'm talking like midnight until about 3-4 a.m. Best chance for snow across the viewing area. You could see it could dip across into our further southern counties. This is going to be a very brief time frame and the best chance again to see things flying in the air that you want to see, not just the cold rain, but potentially a couple of inches of snow for our northern areas and slick roadways when we wake up Friday morning. Okay, I think there is likely to be delays. You do want to stick with us on that. We'll post them on our website, things of that nature. But you can see, y'all, this thing clears out very quickly. It's another change that we've seen. Models all in agreement now that it's going to clear out a little quicker on Friday morning. I'll show you the 7-day forecast, so we still have a chance there. That is for in the overnight hours Thursday into very early Friday morning, and then clearing out Friday morning. So when I say there's a rain chance or a chance for flurries, things of that nature Friday, it's very, very early. By that afternoon, as you can see, we're jumping up into the 40s. This is an overall graphic. Things could shift slightly, especially early Friday morning when it's starting to clear out. That line could shift a little bit to the south, but you can see pink would be the best chance of a mix. Green, best chance you see a lot of cold rain. And then those blue shaded counties there, our northern half, is primarily the best chance to see accumulations of snow. But you guys, this system isn't going to be too bad. Just stay safe. We'll be doing more updates all the way through this evening. All right, you guys, I'm going to take a break and I will be doing another 5-minute update here in the 12:50 to 1 o'clock time.